right, welcome to today's episode of Tomorrow's Leader, where we dive deep on all things leader-related to leading yourself and leading others. I'm John Laurito, your host, once again, back again. We are now close to 300 episodes. We're closing in on that. That's a big milestone, I got to say. I'm very excited about that. We're going to do something special. Actually, I'm interested in your ideas on what we should do for the 300th episode. I think it's in 10 episodes, if I'm not mistaken. I lose track. So, yeah, I think we're like 10 or 11 away. So that should be in the next few weeks. So if you have ideas, let me know. Okay, I know what's on your mind. I got you. You're wondering the answers to the riddles that I posed to you in the last couple of podcasts. So if you remember 2 podcasts ago, if you've been keeping up, the riddle was a man pulls up in his car in front of a hotel, looks at the hotel, immediately knows he is bankrupt. How? Why? Well, I did get some very quick responses. I got a number of incorrect answers, and I got a very fast correct response. And that response was given by my father, John Laurito. That's right. I know you're saying it's an inside job. It's not. I did not. He had no idea I was even doing this. He's an avid listener. Appreciate you, Dad. And he is one smart guy. He's smart, as they say up in Boston. Smart. Very smart. Like off the charts smart. He figured it out. And the answer is, ready? It's a game of Monopoly. That's right. You're saying to yourself, what? Oh my God, it's crazy. Yes. Game of Monopoly. The piece with the guy in the car pulls up, sees a hotel, knows he's bankrupt immediately. So that is the answer to the riddle. The second place goes to Paul Haynes. Paul, another super smart guy. He also got it right. I'm sure many others did. I did get a lot of incorrect guesses. I appreciate your efforts. I am not going to give the answer to the second riddle because I'm going to give a little bit more time. I have not gotten anybody to guess it yet. And that, again, I'll repeat it. And the same thing goes for you. I'll give you some props. I'll make you famous on this because now this is in 90 different countries. Your name will be announced all across the world. The riddle, again, if you didn't get it, was a woman was born in 1971, yet is celebrating this year her 38th birthday, and we are in 2022. How is that possible? What? So that's the riddle. If you get it to me, email or text me. You have my info. Again, I'll give it to you. If you don't have it, John at lauritogroup.com, 860-573-7230. And let me know what your guess is. You'll get a signed autographed copy of my book, Tomorrow's Leader, sent to you. And I'll announce you on the show as the smartest person that I know, or one of the smartest. I know a lot of smart people. Okay, so story time. So I had this incredible experience. I went camping last week with my son, Nick, and my brother-in-law, Jeff, and my nephew, Gavin. And I got to tell you, it was an unbelievable experience. So what we did, which was really cool, I'm a huge kayaker. I love kayaking and kayak a lot. I just try and get out as much as I can in nice weather. And we go to a lake called Harris Lake. For those of you in Holly Springs area, you know where I'm talking about. And we decided that we would kayak out on a Friday late afternoon. And we would tow behind us inflatable rafts, and we would have all our camping equipment in it, and then we would set up a camp on some remote, desolate area of the lake, and we would camp there overnight. Really, really cool idea. So we had planned this for literally like a month, and we had everything planned. We just prepared. We had checklist after checklist. I mean, just ultra planned this thing to a T, and it truly was. I love the idea. I was really excited about it. We were just obviously watching the weather. The weather cooperated. We knew as a couple days, leading up to it, it was going to be gorgeous, like mid 80s, sunny, clear skies, go down at night to mid 60s, something like that. I mean, perfect outdoor weather. And we still did not find out if we could actually do this. So I will tell you, we were a little concerned that we would get kicked off of this. So there are no homes on the perimeter of this lake. So we just were kind of taking a chance. We didn't know, do patrol boats come around and kick you off of this lake if you're camping? I don't know. Still don't know. You're guessing by me telling this story that we did not get kicked off, or the fact that I just said that we did not. We didn't. It was fantastic. So we get there. We row about a mile. We got a kayak and we find this spot that we had kind of scoped out, pulled our kayaks up and the floats and everything like that, got all our stuff. And as you know, with camping, as you may know, the first thing you do is just set up your campsite. You get the tent set up and all this kind of stuff. And Jeff puts his tent up in like record time, like less than 2 minutes. Beautiful tent. I mean, all set. And I'm thinking, geez, it's been a long time since I put this tent together. So I open up the tent and I see the stakes. I see the string and the rope. I see the poles. I see the kind of flap that goes over the top. What I don't see is the tent itself. And this is not a very big bag. I'm looking and I'm fumbling through the bag. I'm like, where's the tent? And I see every other part of this tent except the most important part of it, which is the tent itself. I've got everything to hang the tent, set it up. I just don't have the tent itself. Wow. Obviously my heart drops and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God. And Nick is standing near me, my son, and he said, what? I said, buddy, I really screwed up. I think what I said is, we have a problem. We forgot the tent, which he quickly corrected me to say, no, you forgot that, which is true. This was my problem. I owned this. I'm like, buddy, I forgot the tent. I think what we need is still in the garage. I thought it was in this bag. I can't believe this. And now think about this. What's the one thing you can't forget if you're camping? You could forget a pan. You could forget a plate. You could forget a knife. You could forget whatever. I mean, whatever stuff you bring, those ancillary things, you can't forget the tent. I mean, what are you going to do? We're out in the middle of the woods. Like, what? Well, in any event, I'm really taking a tailspin here. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, all this planning, this incredibly awesome camping experience is going to be now just this shitstorm, and it's just going to suck. And I'm kind of at a loss. I don't even know what to say. And Nick said, well, we did bring the hammocks with us. And we did. So what was great is I have this great hammock in my backyard area where I've got two hammocks, and one is like a chair hammock. The other is a real hammock, huge thing. And I will tell you, it is unbelievable. For those of you who have not laid in a hammock, do it. Figure out a way to get a hammock or just lay in one. It is so relaxing. It is unbelievable. So bottom line is we get this, Nick's like, we got the hammocks. We brought the hammocks. We'll sleep in the hammocks. And I'm thinking, you know what, buddy? You're right. Why not? Like, okay, let's make the best out of this. And yeah, I know you hear my dog barking in the background. I can't control it. Sorry. But you basically, I'm like, thank God we brought these hammocks. So he and I locate these two trees. Each of us, get the two separate trees right on the water's edge. And we put our hammocks up between these trees on the water's edge. Now, when I say on the water's edge, if I got out of my hammock on the wrong side, I would have landed in the lake. That's truly how much on the water's edge it was. And a clear view right up to the sky. And we ended up having the best night's sleep we have ever had. I mean, Nick woke up in the morning, and I will tell you, it was unbelievable. We woke up at like 7:30 in the morning. And we woke up at that early in the morning, and we saw this unbelievable sky that was incredible. It was like, I'm sorry, not at 7:30 in the morning. In the middle of the night, I remember waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I just opened up my eyes, and the sky was filled with stars. I mean, it was incredible. I'm going to sleep. I'm hearing the water lap against the shore. I'm hearing like birds and stuff like that, and weird noises that you hear in the woods. I mean, but it was so relaxing, and it was so comfortable. It was unbelievable. And we both woke up, and the morning sunlight with the sunrise, it was incredible. It was incredible. We both kind of peeked out of our hammocks kind of at the same time and just started talking about what an incredible night's sleep that was. So here's my thought. What would have been, in my mind, a disaster turned out to be the best camping experience we could have ever had. Nick, myself, Jeff, and Gavin had such a fun time. I mean, we couldn't stop talking about it after. We still keep talking about it. This was only a week ago today, actually, as I'm taping this. And it was just one of these things that we wouldn't change a thing, including the fact, you know what? I'm glad I didn't bring the tent, because had I brought the tent, we would not have slept in the hammocks. I guarantee it. We brought them just because, hey, it would be kind of cool to lounge around in them, but we wouldn't have slept in them if we had a tent. And I guarantee we would not have had the type of experience, that sleeping experience that we had. So here I was in a situation where something disastrous in my mind happened, and it turned out actually to be a great thing. So what I think about as a leader, and all of you running organizations and the stresses and everything you have to deal with, and believe me, I know what you're talking about. I've dealt with it, tons of times. When something unexpected happens or doesn't go right, and it seems like a disaster, and I will give you tons of different examples. It could be a client leaves you. It could be one of your key employees resigns, or somebody who you rely on, your assistant, resigns. It could be something where a product launch fails miserably, or you're doing R&D and it's just you're failing on trying to figure out the right formula for something, and you've hit your max and you fail. And whatever it is, oftentimes when you think about this, these disasters in the moment open up a whole new path for you to figure out something that actually is even better. So, I think about that a lot of times. I think about the pandemic. I started my business I resigned on February 14th of 2020, 3 weeks before the pandemic. I had all these keynotes lined up. I was going to be this keynote speaker, and it just evaporated. But what that did is open up a whole new way of doing business for everybody, doing virtual meetings and doing virtual business. It helped me go into a whole different direction of doing consulting and doing work with people in a different way other than just doing keynotes, which I love doing keynotes. But it pushed me in a different direction that I wouldn't have gone, that turned out to be even better, truly even better. I think about, there was a time I was running the Hartford office, and I had two leaders of mine who were two superstars. And at the time, they were two very successful managers for me, Nate and Felix. And both of them, and we were really on the cusp of doing some terrific things and really moving the organization in the right direction, and going from, you've heard the story, from 100 all the way to number one in the country. And about midway through that journey, or maybe 2/3 of the way through that journey, so we're kind of at a critical point, and both these guys had been very integral with reshaping the whole organization. They got called away to active duty. They were in the reserves and got called into active duty for a year. So it was one of these things, they had no control of it. I had no control over it, but they were now two of my key people leaving the organization for a year. And I remember how stressed I was about it and how miserable I was. I'm like, how this timing, and let alone the effect on them. I felt horrible that they had to do this, but what respect I have for them and anybody that's in that situation. I mean, listen, you make a commitment to protect this country, and that's most important. Like, the other stuff can wait, and that's what happens. But in any event, it was a disruption at the time, and I know was unexpected. But here's what it did. It opened up new ways of thinking about stuff. It opened up me leading other people and developing them more than I probably would have, and ramping other leaders up. And when Nate and Felix got back, which they crushed it when they got back, we were even in a better spot. And so when they came in, they just were really key to getting us up to number one. So I think back to that, there's sometimes things that happen. When you lose somebody, it's painful. But maybe that's going to open up the door for you to bring in somebody even better. I've seen that happen many, many times. So a lot of times these disasters that we feel are there now that are going to just totally derail us are really just things that are pushing us in a new direction. And there's something there for you to figure out. You just got to keep your eyes open and look for it. And there's some better experience or opportunity that's waiting for you, that this door that's closed now is causing you to go through some other doors. So don't fight it. It's okay to just to recognize the fact that you're frustrated and this is not a great situation and feels like a disaster, but don't let that immobilize you, and recognize the fact that, you know what, oftentimes these times push us in a different direction that ultimately gives us a better answer than we had before, a better experience than we had before, a better business result than we had before, better people than we had before. Whatever the case may be, that happens a lot. So I thought the camping story was a great example of that. Awesome time. If you want to hear more, reach out to me. I love sharing stories like that. So in any event, short one today. Hope this was helpful for you, just to kind of get the wheels turning. Again, I know you're all facing stuff, and reach out to me. Let me know. Tell me about your disaster moment, and if it's happening now, which I hope it's not. But if you're going through it right now, reach out to me. I'll talk to you about it. I'd love to and maybe there's some things I can share with you that I know other people have dealt with and help you through it a little bit. But just keep that in mind. Oftentimes these disasters, are disguised as disasters. These are things that are opportunities that are waiting for you to find them and go down a new path. So in any event, hope you have a fantastic 4th. By the time you're listening to this, you probably have. Let me know. Again, the riddle, it's still out there. Born in 1971, but celebrating her 38th birthday. How? Ping me. Let me know what your answer is. In the meantime, go have fun. Enjoy yourself. Have a safe, happy holiday. And share, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. Thumbs up. Go down below, give a 5-star review. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.